Hi, my name is Lauren Sparacino, and I'm the Assistant Student Life Advisor in Student Life and Leadership. Today, I'm going to be talking about recognizing your student organization for the upcoming academic year. If you have any questions on this presentation, feel free to stop by the Student Life and Leadership office located in Student Services West 1661, or feel free to give our office a call at 619-594-5221. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to first take you through a presentation talking about the different steps you need in preparation for the recognition process, a quick overview on the process, and then I'm actually going to log in as a student and show you what you'll be seeing as you go through the recognition process on your end. So we'll go ahead and get started here. So first, you want to make sure that the outgoing officers do a proper officer transition. So you want to make sure that your past officers are updating the RSO system before the incoming officers begin their term. So this is really crucial if you elect your officers in the beginning of the spring semester, because your recognition application will be current in our system. It will not have expired yet, so it's important you go ahead and put the new officers in there so that they can log in with their red ID numbers to make any changes to the roster or to even get into the event approval system. Once the recognition expires, which is every year on May 1st, you can then go in and renew your application and actually add yourself to the executive roster. Okay, so once the recognition expires, which is every year on May 1st, any of the new officers can actually go in, input their red ID, and begin renewing the application without being previously added. Now, that person who is going in should be an officer, and they need the red IDs for themselves and for the other executive officers. Also, a little note, the president and treasurer must have at least a 2.0 GPA, so that's something to keep in mind when inputting your officers. If they don't reach that requirement, or they have any judicial sanctions or anything of that kind, they will get flagged as ineligible, and you will not be able to proceed with recognizing your student organization. Okay, so first things first, you want to make sure that both the president and treasurer take the online orientation. The president and treasurer must complete it before you can actually submit your application. The faculty and staff advisor of your organization has a separate orientation, and both orientations can be found at this website here. But the faculty staff advisor orientation does not have to be taken in order to submit your application, but it must be completed before we can recognize your organization. Now, what you'll need to actually fill out the application. It's important you gather all of this information prior to starting the application, because you want to make sure you're not scrambling around trying to get the information. It's better to have it all in one place and get going. So now your orientations are complete. You're going to go ahead and log in with your red ID number. You're going to need your membership roster with all of your members' red ID numbers. Now, if you have a membership roster from a previous year and it has carried over, you want to go into that roster and make sure that all of the members are current. People who are graduates now have been removed from the list, and new members are being added. This is encouraged to be completed while you're submitting your RSO application, but it's something you can access year-round. You want to also have your faculty or staff advisor information on hand, so that includes their red ID number, department, classification, contact information, all of that. You want to make sure your updated bylaws are saved on your computer. You'll need to upload those onto the system. And then you'll also need an e-signature from your president and treasurer. So this is required before the application can be submitted. So it's important you get both of those things in. So this is the checklist that you'll see while you're completing the application. So the checkboxes at the top, those will automatically check as soon as you've completed that section. So as you see, it's the organization information section. So this is your purpose, description of your organization, all of that. The officer information, and you must have 5 officers listed to be a recognized student organization. The president and treasurer eligibility checks, so those are what I mentioned a little bit earlier. Advisor information, current bylaws uploaded, You need that e-signature from the president and treasurer, and then the orientation is complete. Now, as you see here at the bottom, the open membership agreement, it's now mandated from the CSU in the executive order that you agree to the open membership agreement in order to become a recognized student organization. Now, we do have the option to disagree, but this is only for social fraternities and sororities. Under Title V, they are able to discriminate based on gender, but nothing else. Everything they must abide by, so ethnicity, color, age, marital status, gender identity, all of that. Once your application is all filled out, you're going to go ahead and submit it. Now, you will get a confirmation screen. Make sure to print that out, keep it for your records, put it in your transition binder, anywhere where you keep that important information for your organization. In about 14 days, you'll be contacted by one of us, one of the Student Life and Leadership Advisors, to begin recognizing your organization, getting your advisor's approval, making sure that everything's in line in order to recognize your organization. Once you're approved, your recognition will be good from the date of approval through April 30th. So if you remember, I said every May 1st, you will lose your recognition status and you have to re-recognize your organization. So that's why come April 30th, that will be your last day of recognition, no matter what day you recognize your organization. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm now going to take you to the Student Life and Leadership page. So our website is www.sll.sdsu.edu. See up here. Now, on the right-hand column, we have the on-campus student organization renewal process. So you're going to go ahead and click that link. Okay. So there's two links up here. The first link is the online student organization orientation for officer and advisor. So I'm going to go ahead and click that just to show you what it looks like. So there's the student organization officer orientation. So this is for the president and treasurer. Then there's the advisor orientation, which is down here. And make sure that the correct orientation is taken, or else you'll have to retake it, which, you know, is never fun. So we're going to go ahead and go back. So now we have the online student organization recognition application. So that is where you want to go. So it will take you to this page, which goes into details about what I just reviewed in that presentation. So this is always good to read. Even if you were an officer of an organization in the past, it's always good to read as a refresher. These are the steps that we broke down a little bit earlier, so making sure the orientations are already taken, having the faculty staff advisor complete the orientation. I'm going to scroll down here a little bit. Now you're going to continue to your online application. So first you're going to put in your Red ID number. And log in. Okay, so then you're going to get this home screen. So these are your options. If you're starting a brand new organization, you're going to click on New Organization Application. If you have an organization that you are re-recognizing, so it has been recognized within the past 2 years, you're going to click on Renew Previous Organization. If you've already gone into the system and you've started an application and now you want to go back and finish that application, you'll go to Finish Already Started Application. And then if you want to update the membership roster for one of your organizations, you'll use this last tab here. So we are going to finish an already started application. I'm going to take you through a little test application that we have. So here's my organization called Test. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. This information is correct, so I'm going to continue. Okay, so this is what your application is going to look like. I just already have some of the sections filled in. So the organization name, you fill that in right up top. Organization type. Now, if you are re-recognizing an organization, you probably already have your type narrowed down. If you're a community service organization, you would fall under service and support, which is right here. Social fraternity, recreational, political, religious, whatever it may be. So you're going to go ahead and select that if you're changing it or starting a new organization. If you are an academic major related organization, you'll be able to select which college you are a part of. So we have College of Engineering selected. You're going to enter in the purpose of your organization, and as you see these little red asterisks, those are all of the required sections. So it's not required to put in the organization website, but it is beneficial for your organization to do so. A contact email, again, this is not required, but this is the email address that gets published on the Student Life and Leadership website when students go in and sort on the website by a particular organization type. It's to your benefit to have the contact email in there because any interested students can actually contact you if they are trying to join your organization, which is always good for a recruitment standpoint. Okay, so you have your membership criteria here, your meeting date and time. And then your officer information. So right now, I am the only listed officer. I'm listed as president. So now I know that I need to list my other 4 officers. Remember, you need at least 5. So I'm going to click Edit Officer Information. Okay, so here's the officer completion checklist. So right now, all I have is the organization information section filled out. So I still need to do the officer information, a few other things. So this red eye here signifies that I am ineligible to serve as president. That is because I am currently not enrolled in classes, so the system's flagging me saying, hey, this person's not a student any longer. If that comes up, I will not be able to submit the application. So you need to make sure that all of your officers, the president and treasurer in particular, are meeting those standards. So to add an officer, you're going to go ahead and enter their red ID. So I'm going to make one up here. Okay, officer title, this will be our vice president, and then their telephone number, which is optional. You'll add the officer, and if it wasn't a made-up red ID, you would see them listed below the president, and that's how you can go through and add all of your officers. So once they're all added, you want to go back to the application and complete the next section, which is the faculty staff advisor information. Now, our faculty staff advisor is Richard Everhart, another assistant student life advisor in this office. We put him in for the test organization. So you'll need their red ID number, which will automatically generate their name and title. I believe you may have to actually enter in all of those sections. So if you see down here, we have the red ID, first name, last name, email address. Those are the required fields. Then you have their title, department, and classification. You'll go ahead and add the advisor, and that will add the advisor to your RSO application. You can have more than one officer listed, more than one advisor listed, but the primary advisor will be the first one listed, and that will be the advisor that receives a majority of the emails for approvals for your events, so on and so forth. Go ahead and go back to application. Next is your chapter bylaws. This is a pretty straightforward one. You're going to go ahead and click Upload Bylaws. It will take you to this page. Again, it's really important to read all of this. It is here to kind of guide you through the process. You'll go ahead and select your bylaw type. So if you're a San Diego State University chapter and you want to upload your chapter bylaws, you'll go ahead and select that. And when you select Choose Your File, your files will get pulled up on your computer. Go ahead and cancel since we won't be uploading any bylaws, but that's kind of how you would do that. When you click Upload File, it will automatically upload that bylaws to your application. Now, if you're affiliated with a national organization or a local state organization, you want to go ahead and select the appropriate title and upload that set of bylaws as well. Go ahead and go back to the application. Now here is the completion checklist. We had the screenshot of it in the presentation. So you see right now we have the organization information section complete and the advisor information complete. Now since we didn't upload any bylaws and we don't have all of the officers in there, those boxes are not checked, and you actually cannot check them yourselves. It happens within the system when they see that you've completed a section. Now we have the open membership agreement. I agree. And assuming that all of these boxes are checked and my application is complete, I would go ahead and click Submit Completed Application, and that will go ahead and submit the application for review. Now we'll go back to the menu, and I'll show you real quickly what it will look like if you're finishing a already started application. I'm sorry, if you are renewing a previous organization. So this means you haven't actually started the renewal process as of yet. So this is a list of the organizations that have not started the application process. So we're going to go ahead and click on, let's click on AB Samahan. Now this is an organization that is currently in the recognition process. So it will give you this message, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. And then you'll get an error message saying the organization you selected has already begun an application for this year. Please contact Student Life and Leadership. So this means that one of your current officers or a previous officer has actually already started the recognition process. So you are not able to get into that application. Now let's click on ASL Club. Okay. They've also already begun the application process. Let's find one that hasn't. Aztec Book Club. Okay, so now this is, as I mentioned earlier, where you can actually input yourself as the officer, as one of the officers with the current position that you hold, and begin the application without having your red ID already in the system. So you click on officer title, let's say I'm the treasurer, I'll enter in my telephone number, and then click continue. Now I'm not, I'll go ahead and go back here. Okay, so that should give you an idea of how the system works and the needs of your organization hopefully are met with this presentation. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to give us a call, Student Life and Leadership. Again, our phone number here is 619-594-5221, and you can always feel free to stop by with any questions.